What's up, everybody? This is your boy Big Herb,
I'm your boy Rick Stroke.
and welcome to another episode of Sports and Whiskey. For starting off, what good in your week was good for sports?
Tom Wilson beating up the New York Rangers.
Same here.
Uh, I mean, yeah, it's been it's not been a quiet week in sports, but I mean that's as far as like the local DC sports scene goes. Seeing all of New York melt down about essentially a hockey scrum and their best player, uh, Yuri per whatever the fuck, I don't have to pronounce his name the correct way. Seeing him get his little ass slung to the ground because when you go through the jungle and you mess with the lion, your ass is gonna get bit, and his ass got bit. So all you New York people that's in your feelings, shut up. It was a regular hockey scrum, and your best player got his ass whooped. So deal with it.
Yeah, it's the same with me. And this is a major topic, and we're definitely gonna be talking about it later on in the show. It's definitely Tom Wilson for me as well. It's really had the whole entire, not just the DMV, but the whole nation talking about it, and just to see New Yorkers being pissed off about it, it feels pretty damn good.
Anything that causes New York pain, I'm here for. Anything. I hate you. All of New York. Yes, I said it. I hate all of New York. You're terrible. You're over expensive, you're crowded, and your rats are the size of puppies.
Wow. Alrighty. Well, let's go to the next topic, which is this week in sports history. So, this week in sports history on May 5th, 1969, Lou Alcindor, aka in my opinion, one of the greatest to ever do it, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, was drafted and he was signed to the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's just give a quick rundown about him. This dude was the greatest. It ain't even arguably. He was the greatest college basketball player to ever live. I don't care what anybody says. When you have three national championships, three player of the years, and you couldn't even play as a freshman in that time because it was against the rules, but you completely just dominated. He knows how to win. I mean, he's won at every single level: high school, college, pros, you name it. He's won it. Hell, he's even won in the film industry. he beat Bruce Lee's ass a few times, and I forget the name of the movie, but
Game of Death.
yeah, and he was just amazing. 6-time NBA champ, two-time NBA Finals MVP. His jersey is retired and with the UCLA Bruins. By the way, he went undefeated for damn near 2 years in winning the national championship with them. He's won a championship with the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks ain't been to one or even sniffed one since he was there. The Lakers, he's won five other championships with them. I mean, this guy is a 19-time All-Star, and he's still to this day. He's been retired since 1989, and it's 2020, and nobody has still caught up to his points record. He is the all-time sports leader. He is where everybody's talking about Mike, where everybody's talking about LeBron. This dude literally killed the game, dominating it.
I mean, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is definitely one of the greatest players to ever play the game, and he kind of gets thrown by the wayside because he was 7'3" and he had a literally unblockable shot in the skyhook. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, he's the inventor of the skyhook. And I mean, yeah, he doesn't get the respect that he's deserved or due. He's also one of the first athletes to get on the forefront of social justice. Yes. You know what I mean? And speaking out against the racial injustice that Black people continue to face in this country every day. That to me is what speaks to him as being one of the greatest of all time. That's why, I'm sorry, people hate to hear this, but that's why Michael Jordan is not in my top 3. Because he refuses, even now, it's like pulling teeth to get him to speak out about social injustice. You know what I mean? And if you choose to not use your platform, if you choose to use your platform to not push forward your people or to rise up those that are being oppressed, well, then you're a coward. And I'm sorry for, again, I know I'm stepping on people's toes, but MJ is a coward to me. Yeah, he provided me with hours of entertainment as a kid. Yeah, I appreciate you scoring all of those buckets and doing your dunks and hanging your tongue out and shit. But what did you do when it counts to it? You know who else provided me with hours of entertainment when I was a kid, but guess I don't give a fuck about now? Hulk Hogan. So, shout out to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and all of his greatness, and Michael Jordan. Shout out to you and your Giants.
Wow. Well, something that I definitely still want to talk about. We talked about it last week with Aaron Rodgers. So there's been plenty of landing spots that people have been talking about that he could possibly land. One of them was I'm just gonna go down the rabbit hole as far as which places say that they wanted to trade for him. Actually, if you don't have Mahomes or you don't have Russell Wilson, everybody wants him.
Or Tom Brady.
Or Tom Brady, yes. You have the Denver Broncos. One that said the Packers get Patrick Surtain, Tim Patrick, Drew Lock, a first-round draft pick for this year and next year, and Rodgers and Eric Stokes goes over to Denver. You have Washington football team. You give them Ryan Fitzpatrick, Matt Ioannidis, 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks, and you get Aaron Rodgers. I'm for that. I'll get into that later on, but I just want to go down the rest of them. Here's one that was weird to me: a 3-team trade-off. You have the Packers, the Dolphins, and the Steelers. The Packers get the first-round draft pick for next year and the year after, and they get a 5th round and a 1st round from Pittsburgh. Steelers get Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins get Aaron Rodgers and a 4th round draft pick from the Packers. That was weird, but okay. The New York Giants, Darius Slayton, a 1st round draft pick, another 1st round draft pick, and a 2023 1st round draft pick for Aaron Rodgers. And the last one, Baker Mayfield, as the Browns, Baker Mayfield, David Njoku, 1st round draft pick for the next 2 years, and you get Josh Jackson and Aaron Rodgers. That was a lot to talk about. Rick, what was your thoughts?
So let me clarify real quick. Those weren't actual offers that the teams made. Those were those were. I'm clarifying for the people out there.
Okay, my bad.
That was an article written by ESPN about possible trades or possible offers that teams could send to Green Bay Packers. In my personal opinion, I think the best landing spot for Aaron Rodgers is Green Bay. I know that's not catchy. That's not a hot take or whatever. But ideal in practicality. I think Aaron Rodgers needs to stay in Green Bay. I think the Packers need to fire their general manager, get his ass out of there, and bring somebody else up in the ranks and remend that relationship with their world-class talent that they have at quarterback. Because without Aaron Rodgers, they're not going to be as good as they are. They're not going to go as far as they think they're going to go. Because, people had ideas thinking that their defense was going to be, better than what it was. But their defense came back to, 2 years ago, their defense was really good. Yeah. But then everybody came back to the norm last year, and they saw it was like, wait a minute, it's still Aaron that's carrying this team, The Packers did a terrible job of trying to get him help. Like they go on a wing and a prayer with getting receivers in late round picks like Devontae Adams, like Jordy Nelson, like Greg Jennings. Like none of these guys have been 1st round picks. They're all later round picks, and they turn themselves into something. But they don't actually go out and use assets or capital to get this man the weapons that he deserves. You don't have a Hall of Fame quarterback and just say, all right, man, go out here and one of these crackheads that we found from around the corner, make them look good, and we'll do our thing. So they need to repair that relationship. And yes, I am in favor of them firing a general manager to make your Hall of Fame quarterback. Yes, he is a Hall of Famer. Happy to get him back and playing, to get him wanting to come back to Green Bay and drag your old sorry asses across the finish line.
So my take on it, me being a homer, a Washington football team fan, I'm just gonna go with my biased opinion. Give them give Green Bay whatever the hell they want for them. Because truth be told, I don't think it's gonna work. As far as I don't think Green Bay is gonna fire their GM, even though they should. Because there's no way, like you just said, that you have a Hall of Fame quarterback and you never give him 1st round talent. And I mean, like you literally built your whole entire team. Well, it shows that you you can put a team together, but you just don't want to go ahead and put in a receiver, hell, even a tight end, a running back, something like that. I got an issue with that, but selfishly, I want him to come to the DMV. I want to
Well,
be able to go ahead and get a championship. There hasn't been a championship for the Washington football team since '92. I was in the second grade. I didn't know shit about football, and I mean, hey, I'm sorry, '91.
well,
And
don't go too far down that whole rabbit hole of giving them whatever they want to, because you're moving into that dumbass Danny Brugier territory
yeah.
of we should give him Chase Young, the only person that shouldn't be touched Terry McLaurin. Again, I'm going to say this for the second week in a row. Danny Brugier, you're an idiot. I don't know if you're doing a bit or whatever on the radio, but it's not funny. It's not funny, and it's getting pretty stupid. Because again, like you need to keep those pieces there on your defense.
Yes.
I actually like the ESPN trade that they came up with. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Matt Ioannidis, 2 first and 2 second. That's actually pretty reasonable.
Yes.
But saying that you would give up Chase Young or Montez or John Allen or Deron Payne, but no, man, no. You're already going to lose one of those guys when their contracts come up.
Yep.
So I'm not going to get rid of them early. Like that's stupid, man. Like, and then the way the rest of the team is built up, honestly, if Aaron Rodgers were to come here, he would have the most dangerous set of weapons that he's had since he's been in the league. And think about that. He's been in the league for 16 years. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, you have 2 quality receivers that can start anywhere. You have a running back who would catch out the backfield, can run the ball. You got McKissick as him as well. What was he, like number 2 or 3 in the NFL this past year in receptions from running.
Number 3 in receptions by a running back.
Yeah,
number 3.
So, I mean, you have weapons. Logan Thompson. You also have the kid that they just picked up from Boise State that everybody's raving about too. So
John Bates.
I'm just being biased. I want him to come to DC. But another thing that I wanted to keep in the NFL with, so with the draft just being just finishing up, I got a question. Who do you think is going to win the Rookie of the Year this year?
See, now here's the thing. Here's the deeper part to that question. There are 2 types of Rookie of the Year in the NFL. Yeah, offensive and defensive.
Yep.
So are you asking me who's my pick for each, or are you asking me just who's my overall?
For each.
Yeah. So honestly, I think my defensive Rookie of the Year, there are no really good pass rushers this year. And so honestly, I think the Rookie of the Year might be Michael Parsons. It might be Michael Parsons just because Leighton Vander Esch essentially has paper mache as his joints, and he can't stay on the field. And Michael Parsons is going to show early on in camp for the Cowboys that he's a ball player. He's a ball hawk. I think he's going to make a lot of plays. I also, if it's not him, it's going to be one of these DBs. It's definitely going to be one of these DBs. I like J.C. Horn. But in all honesty, it's probably going to be Patrick Surtain because being out there in Denver, the AFC West, they throw the ball around a lot.
Yes.
They throw the ball around a lot. He's a really good cover. He's a really good man-to-man corner. They're going to have to play a lot of man-to-man out there in Denver. So I think it's going to be one of those 2 as far as defensive player Rookie of the Year. Now, check back with me, I would say about week 2 of the season, because I know there's going to be some late-round pick who just starts to blossom and just out there making plays and doing all types of stuff. Honestly, like somebody who could shock a lot of people is Shaka Tooney here in DC. He is a pass rusher. He's a hell of a playmaker, making plays out there at Penn State. And I mean, I don't know how he lasted as long as he did, but hey, I'll take him. You know what I mean? It's just another weapon to add to the rotation. Yes. Maybe he'll give us more pass rush than Ryan Anderson's big ass did. As far as my offensive Rookie of the Year, it's not going to be one of the quarterbacks as much as everybody wants it to be. It is not going to be one of the quarterbacks. Honestly, like I think Travis Etienne down in Jacksonville has the capacity to to move James Robinson out of the way, because as much as people like to go with those happy-go-lucky stories, James Robinson isn't a really high-level talent. He's a tough-nosed player who makes plays, but I mean, I think either Travis Etienne or honestly Najee Harris out in Pittsburgh, man. Yeah. Najee Harris out in Pittsburgh he's going to do some things. If once they reload their offensive line, which honestly the Steelers never reload by making big offseason splashes or signing free agents. They just got people waiting in the wings. If Najee Harris produces the way that he's capable of doing, he could definitely steal the offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah. I think as far as just to piggyback off what you said, because that was actually my pick, Najee Harris, because he's a dynamic player. He could run his ass off, and he could catch out the backfield. Like you said last week, I mean, he reminds us of Matt Forte. And I mean, if anybody remembers how Forte was coming out, I mean, he was starting to make that. He was one of those running backs who was starting to make that shift into the modern running back now. Instead of just running, he was catching out the backfield more often as well. And I totally see that with that dynamic offense. With, I mean, as much as Juju, I think he's fallen off a little bit since AB left. But with Claypool in there, you got what's the tight end that they that just came in last year. Ebron.
Eric Ebron, yeah.
Eric Ebron, I've seen, and I mean, Big Ben is still there. I just think with that dynamic offense, you're going to be able to flourish with Najee Harris. You can't go wrong with it. And then they're still a quality team. So, I mean, if your team is good enough and you're putting up numbers, you're going to be looked at. I honestly think with these quarterbacks, these new quarterbacks coming in, that the teams are just not that good. And, I mean, they just went and got a quarterback. If had their quarterback...
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying had they had a quarterback who was on a good enough team, I don't think Mac Jones is gonna take the job from Cam Newton. But to go on to the go ahead.
No, so real quick, you just mentioned it and it just jogged my memory right there. First off, I was about to say honorable mention to Jalen Waddle. You think him and Tua are going to tear the AFC East a new asshole. Yeah. But real quick, I just want to interject with something. I'm tired of the Cam Newton disrespect. Mm-hmm. I'm really tired of the Cam Newton disrespect. Like, y'all mean to tell me that this dude who walks like the Joker in The Dark Knight and who has a body worse than Tom Brady's his senior year of college is just gonna come in there and take this up? Oh, Josh McDaniel wants a traditional pocket. Shut the fuck up. No, he doesn't. Like, y'all got Cam has been injured for 4 years. Cam ain't been right since he flipped his truck over and fractured a vertebrae in his back. And y'all everybody's just so comfortable with the Cam Newton disrespect. Meanwhile, Bill Belichick re-signed him. Now, albeit to a 1-year contract, but they signed him to a 1-year contract so they can go out and get all of these weapons to surround him with. And you really mean to tell me that Mac Jones is going to supplant one of the greatest college football players of all time? Yes, it was only 1 year, but it's one of the greatest college football seasons in the history of college football. Right. All Cam has ever done is take the haters' words and turn them into and shoot them right back at you. So I think Cam is going to let loose on the AFC East this year. I honestly believe that. And now that he has actual wide receivers who are going to try and make plays.
Thank you. Oh, my God. Because I don't know how Tom was able to work with those receivers over there other than Wes Welker and Randy Moss. I mean, and besides the fact, I just think I don't even think that Mac Jones is good enough to even take over Cam. And I mean, and it's not even slander. Because I honestly think that Cam can still play. Like you just said, he was just being hurt all these years. So I don't see it happening anytime soon, at least until next year. Or if Cam happens to get hurt. But as far as on defense is concerned, yeah, I sound like a homer, but Jamin Davis. And the reason why I say that is because look who's in front of him. You have last year's Defensive Rookie of the Year. You have Jonathan Allen, Deron Paynes, Montez Sweat. You have all those guys, and Ioannidis coming back. All 4 of those guys, and this is just going to open up so much space for him. You got a kid that can run a 4.37. Come on. This dude he's lanky. He can go ahead and just close in on anybody. He's going to make a lot of plays. And I mean, he reminds me. I keep forgetting the cat's name from Indy, the linebacker out there.
Darius Leonard.
He reminds me of him. And I mean, he just came on the scene, and just because that front four was just so dominant, it's only going to open up so much space for him to just go ahead and just cover. He can cover tight ends all day. He can go ahead and stop the run. I honestly think that he's going to be the one that's just going to be like, hey, yo, let me just get that trophy up off your hands, player. I just it's so much just in front of him that's going to make him look so much better. Now, but with that being said, we are going, and I know we're rolling through this, but let's take it to the NBA real quick. So I got to ask you, Rick, did you hear anything about what LeBron said as far as with the NBA playoffs is concerned?
Yeah, I heard his take about the play-in, but then also like everybody, like and he may be on the show, and we probably gonna have like a real argument on the show. But a friend from another show, from the shout out to Travis and Mickey from the Good and Terrible show. Yeah. Travis has this thing that he likes to do where it's just constant LeBron slander. Like it's constant. I don't fight with him on Facebook because I'm not that guy. Like I don't fight with people on the internet. It's just not what I do. If we're gonna fight, we're gonna scrap in real life, not on the internet. And Travis was posting about, well, LeBron was talking about a couple years ago they need to have a play-in game. Now, when the Lakers are in danger of having it, so what, man? So what? Yeah, like the man was frustrated. He's frustrated because he's been hurt for a few weeks. He's frustrated that the team has slid to where they at. So yeah, he's frustrated. Like you gonna give that type of take. You don't want to be in no damn play-in scenario. You know what I mean? You just want to play in the playoffs. You want to get in the tournament. That's the whole goal.
Exactly.
So. I think it was a little bit of a bad look on LeBron's behalf because he did have the same take that he had a couple of years ago. But at the same time, I understand the frustration. Man, y'all niggas gotta get off this plantation mentality and being loyal to Jordan, bro. Remember, never forget, Mike said Republicans buy sneakers too.
Yep.
Never forget. Like y'all gonna keep on backing these niggas that'll sell your ass out for $1 all day. Meanwhile, LeBron out here making schools, and LeBron has literally put the power back into the players' hands. Yes. Like he's literally changed the game for players to be able to make a way for themselves. But y'all still loyal to Mike, right? While Mike running around with his snow bunny. Meanwhile, LeBron been with the same chick since high school. Yep. That shit crazy. Juanita's still looking around like, where the fuck this nigga go? But you know, I ain't gonna make it too personal. But just know,
like it a little bit.
Just know, Mike, I watch you. I watch you, nigga. Always.
And I mean, for me, I'm not even trying to be that guy. I'm really not. And I mean, because here's the thing about my thoughts on LeBron. I started off hating LeBron because as a homer, he put my Wizards out consecutively, like 3 straight years. So it's all my hatred that I used to have for him. It wasn't anything as far as like a personal standpoint. It was, hey, you put my team out for years. But I've grown to not only respect, but love his game. Not only that, he's an awesome human. So, I mean, it's just like, it's never been personal with LeBron as far as my thoughts on him. But in this situation, I'm like, hey, homie, look, usually you in the top 3 seeds, you don't even really worry about it. And like you just said, Rick, I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that he's been out 20 straight games, which is the most in his whole entire career in any season, I mean, because he's been pretty durable throughout his whole entire career. Yeah, you get frustrated. Damn it, I got to go ahead and make the damn playoffs in a play-in game. And hell, who's to say I might get bounced out before I even get a chance to play? So, yeah, I see your frustration, LeBron. But in this situation, I mean, hey, I'm looking at the standpoint from everybody being able to play in. I mean, if you look at those first 2 play-in games, if you're in the top 6, you pretty much got a couple-day bye week to just go ahead and just chill and just watch and see what matchups you got to worry about. So, I mean, in this situation, I'm like, hey, LeBron, man, just, you know what, man, you just keep quiet.
Just do your thing.
Yeah.
But look, like RDC World said in that skit a couple months ago, I'm 36. I'm 36. We know you 36, bro. We know you 36. It's good. We know. Listen, Father Time catches up to everybody.
Yeah.
And even with you spending that $1.2 million working on your body every year, it catches up to you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, but once they get, like, the thing about it is like, this is all going to go by the wayside in a couple months. If the Lakers do what they do and keep on and play ball the way they're capable of playing ball, we're not going to be worried about this because they're going to be in the finals again.
Yeah.
LeBron's going to be in the finals again.
Yeah. I just don't see it. I don't see Utah nor the Suns dominating anything. And I would pick the Nuggets, but homie's out. But what's the name? Their point guard is
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray out.
You know what's funny to me? Every year, these teams go off in the regular season. They be track meeting people, and every year niggas just fall into the trap. Like, remember when the Phoenix Suns had Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire and Sean Marion, and they 157 points a game, and man, look at this. I said, yeah, that's all well and good till they get in the playoffs.
And they slow that shit down.
That shit look real cute. Remember all those years of James Harden scoring 50-some points a game? And everybody like, man, they're going to be tough to beat. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here, that shit look real cute to the playoffs.
Yep.
And every year, everybody just fall into the trap. And I'm just like, dog, stop falling. Don't fall for the honey pot. It ain't as sweet as you think it is. Like, these teams, the Utah Jazz is not going to hold up. I'm sorry. Rudy Gobert is not the defensive force that everybody thinks he is. He's the outbreak monkey. He's patient. Man. He's patient zero. Cut the crap. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Denver. Nikola Jokic. Listen, every white boy ain't Dirk Nowitzki. And Dirk Nowitzki wasn't Dirk Nowitzki until 2003. So y'all can cut this shit. I don't care what nobody says. Any team who's led by a white guy, you call me a bigot, you call me racist, I don't give a fuck. Guess what? They ain't winning the championship. Nope, they ain't. The days of Larry Bird shooting that ugly ass jump shot and winning championships are gone. So y'all can take that shit and shove it. You can take your sorries and shove them in a sack. To quote George Costanza. So y'all can cut that shit out.
Oh man.
I mean, and then everybody always want to go, well, what about the Clippers? What about the Clippers? Is Paul George still on that team? Okay. Playoff pee pants ain't got shit for nobody.
and 3-1. Just that's it. But here's the thing, and it's funny that you just bring up all these guys' names and everything. But who do you think? I mean, and we're still talking about the regular season, just based on the regular season because the playoffs is a different monster. Who do you think in this blah MVP race? Who do you think is really the MVP? Who's your MVP?
Steph Curry. Like even with them not having as good a record as normal, it's Steph. It's always gonna be. It's always been Steph. Like, if there's no Steph Curry on that team, they are in the lottery right now. Mm-hmm. I honestly, and this is a take that not a lot of people are gonna see. It's either Steph or Russell Westbrook. Like, as of recording this show right now, Russell Westbrook just tied Oscar Robertson for most triple doubles. Yeah. He just got his 181st triple double. Your people don't want to admit it because he's playing in Washington. Meanwhile, but they've been killing. But I mean, it's either Steph or Russ. Because I'm on my Kendrick Perkins shit today. Nikola Jokic, the Joker. Yeah, it kills me every time some big white boy can pull a couple passes out his ass. Everybody want to scream from his fucking testicles. He's not that fucking good, man. He goes up against another physical center. His whole game is gone because, hey, this guy's beating me up. I don't like it. He beats me up. Cut the shit, man. He ain't the MVP, dude. He's not the MVP, and y'all can take the. And again, you can put this on your little Twitter or whatever. Any NBA player that feels some type of way, Jamal Murray. I saw you responding to people talking about whatever. You can respond to me. No, he's not the MVP. It's Steph or Russell Westbrook.
When I look at the MVP, and I like your choices, but I'm gonna have to go to the person who we just talked about earlier, LeBron. And the only reason why I'm looking at it like this is because, well, yeah, he's LeBron, but I'm looking at it from the standpoint of when you're off of of your team, how is your team gonna perform? And when he wasn't on the team for those 20 games, they played like complete dog shit. But when he's in the actual team playing and everything, they are one of the top teams to fear, if not the top team to fear in the whole NBA. And that goes for Brooklyn as well. So I mean, it's just, hey, once you get LeBron just on your team and is balling, this dude cannot be stopped. And I'm just gonna say, he missed 20-something odd games. How does this team perform when he's in the game? That whole entire team is one of the top teams in the league, and when he's not playing for 20-something odd games, he's sitting there arguing about, damn, I'm gonna have to play this stupid ass playing game in order to get in. But
you know what's crazy? Real quick, just to speak on the greatness that is LeBron. People don't think about him as a scorer, and they laugh because he likes to pass first, and when in actuality he just likes to make the correct basketball play first.
Yeah.
You know he's the all-time leader in playoff points.
Yeah. He just
nobody like Richard Jefferson just said it the other day on the Gilbert Arenas No Chill podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's ever going to pass his record. Like, do you know for anybody to break his record of playoff points, they're going to have to average 30-some odd points in the playoffs and make it to 10 straight finals? You ain't doing that shit.
No.
Like, again, y'all niggas that love to slander LeBron, you going to feel real dumb in 20 years when you're going to have to swing from his jock and keep on talking about, LeBron got that record, so I ain't really. Shut up.
Yeah, he's gonna break the all-time record anyway. So I mean,
yeah, exactly. Like he's gonna be the first basketball player to ever play with his son when Bronny comes to the league in a couple years.
Yep.
So all you haters just load up for that one. But speaking of greatness and beating ass, let's talk about the New York Rangers and their bitching and moaning and crying, right? So hockey is a sport. Hockey is a sport that they allow fighting. You know what I mean? And the only reason they allow fighting is because there's not a lot of black players out there, you know. But they allow fighting, and hockey is rough, and things happen, right? So I'll say this. There was a scrum in the New York Rangers versus Washington Capitals game on, what was that? Like Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday.
And Tom Wilson, this is the only thing I have a problem with. There was a player on the ground. Tom Wilson throws a punch to the back of his head. That's wrong. Tom, don't do that. Bad boy. But Yuri Perhosman, the best player on the Rangers, decide he's going to. Now, mind you, Tom Wilson, 6'5", 240. Yuri Perhosman, 5'10", 180. Decides that he's going to jump on this monster of a man's back. Gets his little ass flung to the ground with a nice little judo flip, Austin Powers style. And then when he jumps up again, Tom Wilson pushes him back down. Only gets fined $5,000 because it's a typical hockey scrum. Well, apparently the whole city and state of New York is on their period at this point, and they're just, he's a monster, and he's a dirty player, and he should be banned by the NHL. And George Poros, I can't remember his name, but he's basically being a discipline for the NHL.
Yeah.
Do your job and ban him for life. And of course, he does his job. He fined him $5,000. And then, of course, for their troubles and for their bitching, New York, the Rangers got fined $250,000. Suck it, bitch. So, and that's just justice, is what I see it as. That is true. That is pure Batman. Look at this crackhead trying to buy weed, and let me give you a compound fracture. You earned it, New York. Take that, Gotham.
But here's the thing, though. You didn't even mention the part that the GM and what's his name? I think the team president got fired as well. for putting out the actual writing a letter to the NHL and bitching about it. I mean, first things first. During that first game, they got their ass whipped 6-3. Then they went to go and bitch about it. Then they actually got fined. They followed. Hey, this is the typical fine in the CBA. This is the shit that you guys decided. Hey, we're gonna go with this. $5,000 is the maximum fine. Yeah, you did wrong by punching him in the back of the head, but at the same time, he was defending it from, hey, you were going at my goalie's knees. Not saying it's right, but at the same time, if you decide to jump on a bull and that bull goes the fuck off and then tramples you, you're kind of at fault for your own shit. Don't be mad. And then when they go and find them, I mean, you go ahead and just say like, well, we're going to go ahead and fight. And you fought 6 times within the first 5 minutes of the game and you lost 4. So you lost 4-2 and then you played the game and you got your ass whipped 4-2 still. So you took 2 ass whippings in the same night and you got fined and your upper management people got fired. New York Rangers hold this L, okay?
Let me get in close to this one. Take that, you sucker ass New York niggas.
Hey, Ray.
I hate you. I can't stand your nasty ass city. I can't stand your nasty ass people. I can't stand your nasty ass 200 square foot apartments for $35,000 a month. I can't stand nothing about you. Can't stand that place. I hate your swap meets or your little marketplaces where they sell a knockoff Gucci. I can't stand that. You earned it. You earned it. I hate Michael Strahan's Gap.
Wow.
I can't stand Tiki Barber and his divorce proceedings.
The hatred is.
New York sucks. New York sucks. You suck.
Rick tells us how it is. I mean, and I got family in New York, so New York holds the actual place holds a place in my heart. But I ain't got no love for none of their sports teams. None. I hate the Yankees. I hate the Giants. I really don't give a shit about the Jets. The Knicks. You know what? They are what they are. I fuck with KD because he's from the DMV, so that's the only rooting that you're ever gonna get out of me from New York. But other than that, I'm not a big sports fan of any of their teams at all.
I don't fuck with KD because he wears hair like a New York nigga. He don't brush it. I said it. And I know, KD, I know your family bloodline, so don't even try that fake tough guy shit that you do with me. I know your cousin, nigga. You're a bitch.
Wow.
I said it. He just gonna hit me up on Twitter from one of his burner accounts and threaten me and shit like I'm Michael Rappaport. But the one thing is, I ain't no ginger hair white boy, nigga. You got to say it. You got to see me.
Wow. I'm at a complete loss of words right now. I really am. But fuck the Rangers. Fuck the Islanders. I don't like them niggas either. I'm Caps DMV all day. As far as New York, like I just said earlier, try Jesus, not Tom Wilson. And that will be the title of this episode. So.
Yeah, facts.
But man, this has been a great second episode. Guys, as always, like, share, subscribe on all social media platforms. As always, up to it, down to it. Fuck those who don't do it. We do it because we used to it. Drink, motherfucker, drink.
This ain't just 7-Eleven coffee. It's whiskey here.
And we out.